Hey, it's Chad Hallett, Captain Mortgage here, coming to you today with the famous Miss Nelly, my friend from Griffin Owens Insurance Group out of Falls Church, Virginia. How are you doing today, Nelly?
Very well, thank you, Chad. How about
Uh,
yourself?
Tell me about where you're working today. Is that your home office?
So this is my personal home office. This is one of the last days I get to work from home, I guess. Next week we'll be back in the office.
Okay.
So I'm enjoying this beautiful sunlit afternoon here.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucky you. I can't wait to get outside. I missed out on yesterday's nice temperatures. But for those of you that don't know Nelly, she's one of my top insurance partners that I send buyers to, clients. And she's always very quick to respond, and she's very competitive on quotes for premiums and such. And she's been a huge asset to my business. So just going to do a quick interview with her today, just so everybody can get to know her better. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, that kind of thing. Let's try to get to know you a little bit better for those people that are watching. And I'll let you pronounce your last name since I would butcher it.
So my full name is Nelly Grigorjeva. I go by Nelly just because it's easier for everyone. And then originally I'm from Europe. To be more specific, from Eastern Europe. I'm sure you got that from my last name and can hear my accent as well. I moved to Miami about 12 years ago, and I spent there 10 years. I moved to Virginia in the beginning of 2020, actually, right before pandemic started.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're a recent transplant then, only a couple of years now.
You can say that. It's my third year now, I believe.
Yeah. It's same for my wife. How are you liking it? Are you going to call? I don't have no idea why you went from Miami to Virginia, but how are you liking the U.S.? Are you plan on staying here permanently, or?
Definitely US. Don't know about the States still, because I'm the type of person, I love to travel. So you see me Europe, Miami, Virginia, who knows what's next. For now, I'm enjoying it. Virginia is a beautiful state. There's just so many things you can do. Now, regarding the weather, the winter, yeah, it gets a little cold. So during winter time, I'm kind of reconsidering why did I move from Miami, especially when my friends are posting their stories at the beach and I'm like here. I was like, well, but other than that, I'm happy with the move and the decision I made.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's. I was just in Miami last month with my wife, and it's. Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe and different weather for sure. I guess we'll dive right into this bad boy. How long have you worked in insurance?
So I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm a newbie. It
Okay.
is going to be about now 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I did learn from best of the best. So
Okay, well, good. I would have never known that you're new based off of our interactions and how you've taken care of my clients. So it's not a bad thing. What made you decide to get into insurance versus something?
well, as I mentioned, I moved here right before pandemic, and I wanted to take some time off. I didn't want to dive into work right away. Once I was ready to go back to work, we went into lockdown. A lot of businesses just run out of business, and actually a friend of mine, he owns an insurance company, and one day we were just talking with him, and he goes like, hey, why don't you try being in insurance business? It can be very rewarding if you work hard. Schedule is amazing. You get to work from anywhere. You can go to Miami if you want tomorrow and work from there. And I did try it. I liked it. Happy with the decision. So
Mhm.
far, everything's going great.
Oh, good deal. And your office is like a brokerage, right? So you guys shop different policies to like Allstate and Travelers, different companies.
Correct. So we are an independent agency and we work with multiple carriers, including Travelers, as you mentioned, Hanover, Nationwide, and lots of others. So we have the benefit to pick and choose for the client depending on the situation.
Sure. So fun fact, back to your background there, insurance. Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. That's actually how he got into business. When he was looking for a business to start, he ended up working in insurance. I don't know if it's State Farm, I can't remember. And then he ended up opening his own brokerage for another large brand. And that's how you got to start in business. So it can definitely be rewarding if you work hard at it. That's for sure. How do you enjoy it? You liking it so far?
I do. I'm a people's person. I love to work with people. I love to help people, educate people. Sometimes just give an honest advice, you know. Even let's say if they don't work with me, you can always count on me. You can always call me. I'll help you out no matter what.
Good deal. How have you adapted work-wise to COVID? I mean, I know in this business, it's it's tough to get. I mean, until recently, it's been tough to kind of get face-to-face with people, belly to belly. So.
Well, yes, that, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a people's person, and that is the hardest part, to not be able to, see people in every day. Scheduling meetings is also a little harder. You can do only Zoom. But to be honest, it was hard in the beginning, but I feel like discipline and time framing is the key. You just got to plan your day, even you work from home, schedule it out, and, just pretend that you're in the office and then someone's next door in the office as well.
There you go. Let's say, for instance, I kind of want to talk to I want to talk to the realtors. I want to talk to the people viewing this. Could be realtors, potential clients, and then also people that might want to join you in the business. So what kind of advice would you give someone who's thinking about getting into insurance?
Short answer, be ready to hustle. Because it's just so much competition out there. There's so many agencies, there's so many agents, and you just gotta ask yourself a question: why would they choose me?
Yeah.
Instead of other agent, and not regarding the rates, but just why me? And once you answer that question, and you got to be fast. That's another thing. You got to get back to people as soon as you can. I always try to do that. And I'm not available 100% all the time, because I might just be with the other customer or client on the phone. But if I see you calling me, I'll just shoot you a message, be like, hey, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I think it's really important. Believe it or not, like working in this business, I've heard people telling me that, the agent never get back to them, or they get back to them like 3 days later. It can't be like that. It has to be like fast.
That's true. That's true. What's the number one advice you'd give to a buyer who is trying to select an insurance company? So somebody that I might refer to you that's buying a house and they're trying to shop around. What advice would you give?
So shopping around is great. I personally love it. I would do the same thing. It's good to know where you stand, compare things. But my biggest thing is, I'm so sorry for the cat. Another perk working from home office. They have no respect. Sorry, I was saying, definitely look at the coverage first and then the price. And everyone wants to have a low premium. Insurance is required by law. We're pretty much paying for something that we might never use. But at the end of the day, if something does happen, you want to make sure that you are properly covered. Yeah. And if there's a big difference between one policy and other policy, just make sure you do apples to apples, which is the biggest thing. Make sure you don't have $5,000-$10,000 deductible, because that's why that difference in premium. And I always like to tell people, my goal is not to save a couple of dollars today, but save them thousands and thousands of dollars in the future if they have a big loss, just to make sure that they pay the deductible and they don't have to worry about anything.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, that's all fair advice. I'd agree. What are some of the issues you see with buyers that prevent them from getting those low premiums?
That's a great question. There is just so many factors that can affect that. One of them is the location of property. Sometimes you'll be looking at the house and it's brand new, and you'll be thinking the premium should be so low because there's barely any risk. The house is brand new, roof is brand new. And I say roof because insurance companies love brand new roofs, so it's a big discount. So always find out when you're realtor when your roof is replaced. But then again, you need to know how far is the property located from the fire department, fire hydrant. If it's in the wind and hail area where storms constantly happen, you know, and there will be a damage to your roof. Another thing is that I can think of is how far is it from the water? All those things affect it, you know. But another thing is also credit history, credit score. Believe it or not, even in insurance, they look at your credit. And actually, some carriers will even look at your driving history, even though you're getting a homeowner's insurance. Yes. So some of them will just look at it and say, okay, you're good to go. Your premium's not changing. But some of them actually, if they will see that you had a couple of claims or fault accidents, they actually can surcharge you for your homeowner's insurance as well, which you would think makes no sense, right? And it's kind of not fair. But again, in insurance, it's all about statistics. And in their eyes, you know, if you're more prone to accidents and filing claims, they automatically think that you might be doing that same thing with the homeowner's insurance. Not necessarily, but there might be a slight surcharge with some carriers that we work with.
So what you're saying is that it's your fault that my policy went up this year because a deer hit me. I'm blaming you, Nelly.
Well, actually, deers no. So that's a comprehensive claim, and actually, they don't charge you for that. The tree falls on your car, a deer, it's a comprehensive claim. A rock hits your windshield, comprehensive claim. They don't really charge you against that, but if you have, especially the fault accident, you have like, imagine you have 2, 3 fault accidents with the payout, then they'll kind of be like, well, you know, we're not really sure. Another thing also, going back to claims history, let's say if you have someone with a $20,000 claim in, say, in water damage or any damage, automatically that person will get, the premium is going to be higher just because now they're a higher risk rather than someone who never had a claim.
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate you sharing that. The distance from the firehouse, I knew was top 2 that I hear is distance from the firehouse and then breed of dog. Sometimes there's that special list.
Thank you so much actually for bringing this up. I completely forgot. There is a list with certain breeds that actually you would not be eligible. And a lot of companies that actually offer great rates, you wouldn't qualify. And then you're gonna go with someone else who you qualify with, but their rates are not as good.
So what would happen if somebody lied to you about that and said they didn't own one of those dogs and then they had an incident? Would you guys just not cover them or cancel their policy, or what happens?
So what would happen once you issue the policy, you got to sign the application. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with you guys when you apply for the loan. You have to answer certain questions, and there is a question if you own any of these dog breeds, right? And if you say no, and let's say you have a German Shepherd, which is one of the breeds that's on the list, and that dog attacks someone, you know, on the street or in your house, and those people decide to file a lawsuit, then your claim can be denied because technically you lied on the application. You shouldn't be even having this policy in the first place. So this is the thing, you can do whatever, it's always up to you. So, you know, it's kind of
what if I don't own one when I get the policy, but I get one afterwards? You're saying I should call the insurance agent and update them?
You should. Also on our end, on my end, I do policy reviews every year, you know, and then I ask people what has changed, you know, if they have like the same email address, the same phone number, have they done any updates on the home? Because when we insure the house, let's say they bought the house today, and in 10 years, you know, they might have done a lot of updates. They might have built another floor, you know, redone the kitchen, bathrooms, decks, and all of that like brings the value to the house. So you got to raise that value. So
okay, yeah. I got you. What was I going to ask you? I'm glad you brought up the credit thing too, because I tell people all the time how important your credit is for every aspect of life, and that's just one more example. It can even affect your insurance rates. Yeah. That's all I have for you today, but before we wrap it up, I'd like to give you a minute to kind of just sell yourself on why Nelly is the best and why my clients should go to you, why the people watching should go to you, and, you know, at bare minimum, get a quote from you.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we do have great companies we work with. We have about 15, 20 companies we can pick and choose, customize everyone's policy. But again, I'm really fast. I'll get back fast to you. I'll be honest with you, which is the biggest thing. I think a lot of people appreciate that. You know, if you send me a quote and you tell me like, can you give me a better deal? I will certainly do my best to try. But if I see you getting a better deal somewhere else, I'll be like, hey, you got a good deal going on there. Like, you should stick with that. Other than that, really, I'm always here. I'm always available. You can always call me for advice, as I mentioned earlier. Like, you know, even if you don't need insurance, you have insurance somewhere else, just call me. I can always help.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. And if any of you have any further questions for Nelly, I'm going to post her contact information in the comment section. And you guys have a great day. Thanks again, Nelly.